Well, we've reached our 7:30 start time. So hello and welcome to Operation Remote Resilience. My name is Jennifer Dietz and I'm a certified Warriors at Ease teacher. And tonight I'll be guiding you through a restorative practice. Tonight we'll be focusing on our neck and shoulders all the way down to our toes and then some breathing. And a restorative practice is an opportunity to really relax deeply and without working too hard and either ease into a night of restful sleep or have energy to start your day depending on when this finds you in your day's activities. So we'll begin today on a prop like a block or blanket or pillow or sleeping bag or whatever, if you want to lift your hips up off of the ground below you. But we'll take a seat on our bolster in a cross-legged position. Or you can be with your legs outstretched, although we're going to head toward legs outstretched next. So this cross-legged position will give you an opportunity for some opening in your hips, just passively with the weight of with gravity pulling on your knees. So from this seated position, we'll first work on our arms a little bit. So if you would, lift your arms up to parallel. Turn your thumbs up to the ceiling and bring the backs of your hands toward each other, opening the front of your chest. So drawing your shoulders toward each other on the back, and then come back to horizontal, and then bring your arms toward each other in the front, crossing your left over your right. And first really accentuating that cross. And then bend your arms at the elbow, bringing the backs toward each other. If you'd like to see if you can do it, wrap your hands around each other so that the palms press against each other. And whether your hands are back to back or palms to each other, once you've reached that twisting shape, which is your eagle arms, lift your elbows up. And you might wiggle a little bit in your torso just to allow room for your shoulders to lift up. Let your neck be easy here. So move your head side to side to make sure you're not holding any tension. And just let the lift of your elbows bring some opening across your back. Now with your elbows lifted, also lean forward a little bit, finding stretching along the whole of your back. You can release tension in your neck and just let it be easy here. Now with your next inhale, draw your belly button in, so bringing some tension to your abdomen, and come back up to vertical. Release your hands back to horizontal, thumbs up to the ceiling, and draw the backs of your hands toward each other. Feel the opening on the front of your chest. And now we'll cross our arms in front with the right arm on top, really crossing them, and then bending at the elbow, bringing the backs of the hands together. And again, if you'd like to, you can try and wrap your hands so that the palms come together. The sides might be different. And whether you are back to back or palms together, once you've gotten situated in your eagle arms, lift your elbows up. And again, you might move in your torso just to find opening and move your head left and right, up and down to keep your neck easy and lift up from your elbows. And as we did before, lean forward with your elbows leading the way and feel the back opening. Release your head and pause here for a moment. With your next inhale, bring tension into your belly and rise up, and then release your arms to horizontal and down to the ground. With your hands by your side and your shoulders relaxed, your hands can actually be on your knees or down by your side, wherever you feel like you have the most room. Drawing yourself really tall through your seat, up through your shoulders, so that the crown of your head reaches tall. Be tall in your seat and let your right ear lean toward your right shoulder without bringing your shoulder up. So let your right ear tip to the right. And here we want to feel lengthening on the left side of our neck without feeling crunching on the right side. And for a slightly different sensation, if you just look up with your eyes and down with your eyes, you can feel a slight movement in your neck that really gets at that gentle stretch. Now come back through center and take your left ear toward your left shoulder, keeping your left shoulder relaxed and finding length on the right side of your neck. And again, you might take your gaze up to the ceiling or down to the floor for a slightly different sensation. Now bring your head back to center. And this time we're going to take your forehead about 45 degrees toward the front so that the back of your neck is what you're lengthening. So you're tilting your head forward, finding length across the back of your neck without necessarily crunching your chin in. You want to keep your shoulders easy. And let gravity be what works on your head for the lengthening on the back of the neck here. Now when we come back up to neutral, take your gaze up toward the intersection of the wall and the ceiling so that the front of your neck lengthens. So instead of tilting your head back and thinking of crunching the back of your neck, think of lengthening the front. Now bring your chin back to parallel. And the last thing we'll do here with our neck is take your nose, keeping your chin parallel, and turn it to the right over your right shoulder. So you keep your shoulder easy, your chin parallel, and your nose to the right. So you keep your shoulders in line with each other over your hips, and you just turn your neck to the right. And you should feel stretching on the left side of your neck. Maybe from the front of your ear down to the back side of your shoulder. Come back through center and take your nose to the left, keeping the chin parallel Shoulders level and easy. The sides might feel different, as with almost every move we make in yoga. We'll come back to center. All right, so with that, we'll begin our bigger movements. Place your hands on your knees and draw your shoulders toward your hips, pushing your back to the rear. So you're in a seated cat position. So you're bowing your back out behind you. And then as you move forward, bring the back of your shoulders toward the back of your hips and open to the front as you lean in for your seated cow position. And you'll go back and forth with your own breath through cat and cow from your seated position. You do that several times at your own rhythm. And with your next time through, come to stillness at the center. Take your hands down by your side. Place your right hand on the ground. Reach your left hand up. And as though you were arching over a ball, curve over to your right, keeping your shoulders in line with each other and your hips grounded, or your left hip ground down on the floor so that you are in contact with the floor and you're reaching over, finding a stretch from that left hip through your left fingers. Come back through center, place your left hand on the mat and reach up with your right. And again, fold over to the left, keeping your right hip down and finding length all the way from your right pinky finger down through your right hip. Your shoulders are in line with each other and they're in line with your hips. Come back through center. Now we're going to reach forward with our hands and walk our fingers out. And when you've reached a comfortable distance, pause. And then walk your fingers to the right. And pet the cat if you have one nearby. And now walk your fingers back through center. Pause for a moment. And then walk to the left. Walk your hands back to center. Sit upright, and if you are on some kind of a prop, go ahead and remove it. And extend your legs long with your feet flexed. Steady in your seat and tall through your torso. And here we're going to rub our hands together. Feel your palms get warm. And when your palms are warm, place them on your thighs and feel the warmth from your hands on your legs. And our challenge in this posture is just to be here. So have your feet flexed, your seat strong, your shoulders relaxed, but your back nice and tall. So let's rub our hands together again, generate some warmth, and place your hands just above your knees. Let's rub our hands together again, generate some heat, and put your hands just below your knees. And last time, rub your hands together Make them nice and warm, and this time you're going to fold to where the extent of your reach is, and let that be where you place your hands. And once you're there, pause for a moment and just release the tension in your legs, release the tension in your back, release the tension in your neck, and just be in your forward fold. Each of us will have a different reach in this forward fold. Some of us can really reach far, and some of us have a shorter range of motion, and all of those are the right amount of fold. So as you reach here in your fold and you feel the warmth from your hands, notice what's going on with your muscles of your thighs. Are you holding tension, or have you released it? So can you let your kneecaps be loose? Can you feel your knees slightly bent? Can you let your head be heavy at your shoulders? Now draw some tension into your abdomen as you prepare to rise up to a seated posture again. So find your nice tall seat. And then we are going to recline on one elbow and shift over so that we're on our bellies. And we'll prop ourselves up on our upper arms with our forearms flat. This is our Sphinx posture. So our hips are heavy, grounded on the mat. Our hands can be palms up or palms down. And our upper body is supported by our upper arms. Take your gaze to the wall in front of you. Now, curling your toes under and pressing into your knees, shift your hips up over your knees and allow your chest to come down to the mat for our puppy dog. So your hands are outstretched. They probably haven't moved much. Your hips are high and your chest sinks down toward the mat. You can even release your forehead to the mat so that you're not working hard. You're just allowing this stretch to happen on the underside of your arms. Opening, to the front. And then when we switch backwards, so curl your toes under, lift your hips to the sky, and let your chest come down to the mat for a puppy dog. And this is our upper back. Now press into your hands and rise up into a sort of a modified tabletop. Take your knees wide on your mat, bring your toes together, send your hips back to your heels, and reach your hands long for child's pose. Your head can come down to the mat. Your hands can stay outstretched. They can reach behind you if you'd like a different sensation at your shoulder. Or you can stack your hands and let your head rest on your hands. Take whatever shape allows you to rest here for more than a minute or two. Child's pose is a wonderful posture to take anytime you need to check in with yourself, take a break from what's happening in your yoga class, or take a break from what's happening in the day. It's really great posture to regroup. Wherever your hands are, bring them under your shoulders and press up. You can cross your feet and roll over into a seated position, or get to a seated position any way that works for you. And so I had too many things planned for restorative, so we'll do that one next week. So when you're in your seat, go ahead and recline. You can slowly lower down or just get to a lying down position any way that suits you. And once you're down on the mat, extend your left foot out straight and draw your right into your chest. Hug your right leg in close and take your left hand on your right knee, drawing your right leg over the body and allowing your right arm to extend out to the right. And if you want to, you can take your gaze to the right, or you can keep looking up at the ceiling, your choice. Keeping the shoulders on the mat allows us to really get maximum benefit from the twisting motion of this posture. With your next inhale, bring yourself back to flat on your mat and hug the right leg in, and then send it long and draw the left leg in. Hug it tight. Take the right hand and pull the left leg across, extending the left hand out and taking your gaze to the left or up to the ceiling, whichever works best for you. Take your gaze to the ceiling and let your hip come back down. Hug your left leg in and send it out. Now we have another minute. You can take any movements you need to before we settle in for our final relaxation. I'll suggest a couple. If you have a chair at hand, you can place your calves on the seat of the chair. It's a great way to get a restful posture. You can place your feet wide on your mat and let your knees come together. Of course, you can extend your legs long and let them be loose in the hips for our final relaxation posture. Or if you have a wall at hand, you can take your hips close to the wall and send your legs up. So you can do legs up the wall for your final relaxation. So whatever posture you choose, take a moment to get settled. I will have a seat as I talk you through the meditative part of this, and then we will conclude our practice. So no matter which shape you take, once you find yourself there in stillness, notice the way you are supported on the mat. And if you've chosen legs up a wall, the way you're supported the way your ankles, your heels are against the wall and you're supported in that vertical shape. And if your feet are on a chair, notice the way your calves are supported on the seat of that chair. And trust that that support will remain there for the next few minutes as you attend to relaxing your body and noticing your breath. So the past 3 weeks, we've done a body scan in this final relaxation period. Tonight, I'd like to invite you to experience awareness of your breath. So if it feels comfortable to you, you might put one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Maybe you put both hands on your chest. However you want to place your hands so that you can feel the rise and fall of your torso as your body brings air in and sends it back out. So the first thing you do is just notice how your body is naturally breathing. And then if you'd like to, you can join me in making your breath match. So if you want to breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 4, try that for 3 rounds. Even inhale, even exhale, whatever your count is. And now, if you would like to experiment further, add length to your exhale. So if you used a 4 and 4 count, maybe this time you breathe in for 4 and out for 6. And notice how that feels. And if you'd like to experiment even further, let's double the exhale compared to the inhale. So if you had a 3 count inhale, make your exhale 6 and see what that feels like. And now you can leave your hands where they are or let them be at your side for our last moment of silence here in this final relaxation. Let your breath be what it is. If you have time and can linger in this relaxation, by all means do. But if you need to rouse yourself to get on with your evening or your day, now's a good time to bring movement into your fingers and toes. And as you prepare to come to a seated position, press onto your side and pause there for a moment before coming upright. And once you have reached a seated position again, I want to thank you for joining me for Operation Remote Resilience. And please consider following the link below to make a donation so that you can help support teachers like me, serve those who serve. And for anybody practicing who's currently serving, thank you very much. Those of you who have served, thank you. And those of you who are family and friends, thank you too. So this is Jennifer Dietz signing off from Operation Remote Resilience. Thank you. See you next week.